Aloha. Today, it's funny that the topic that I wanted to do yesterday, but I took a break because it's time to take a break. Um, but I wanted to speak on kind of like the grid matrix and how it's set out, specifically the experiences of planting roots and and putting out seeds and the whole process that is involved on the individual level and the societal level. And it's funny that I opened the book after the ants was from the last video. The next chapter was about, or it's called society. So uh, yeah, so society from the book story. We'll see how it matches up with whatever flows out after I start talking about roots and seeds in my own experience and my own perspectives. So, uh, hmm. So, my experience breaks down simply for this video as pre-2012. I was pretty much just holding space, anchoring space for. I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. I can't sneeze. I was gonna sneeze. Alright, I'll sneeze later. Okay, so planting roots and planting and putting out sowing seeds. So the whole grid design is founded in illusion, which is like gridded up by distraction. And all of those illusions and distractions keep you away from your true expression of yourself and your true connection to each other and the reality, the whatever we consider our experiences as our physical reality, spiritual reality, um, everything. All of the systems get created for us and we download them. So NASA takes pictures of the moon and planets and the universe, and they package them up really nicely and they deliver them through the television and through the internet and through your whatever, your friends, and they say, this is what your universe looks like. Hey, we made a universe, a university that teaches your kids how to look at the universe and be in the universe and act in the universe. We did all this for you. That's what NASA is, and UC Berkeley and Stanford and Harvard and all those other prestigious, we call them prestigious. No, they called them prestigious. I didn't learn to call any school prestigious. They just call themselves prestigious. So, yeah, so these are those roots. We wake up to these roots. We're born into these roots that have already been planted because our parents and grandparents and grandparents have been working on the same thing we're working on today, just in a different way. A lot of the versions before, like I said, 2012 were root. They were specifically here to root the space and anchor the space, hold the space for the star seeds and the earth seeds that are coming to heal the entire planet and each other. because the harming of it has been going on for so long, and the natural cycles of it have already come through, and that's what we were experiencing in 2012 is the shift of the awareness on one level. That's just one level to explain it, but for video, for perspective purposes, the shift of an awareness is a definite that has definitely activated into another kind of gear in 2012. And my own individual experience of this was involved realizing the entire root planting and anchoring system that we are participating in. And then when we shift gears as if we were, that's an entire, if we were a tree, or if we were, that's an entire shift that system has adjusted to. And it's so yeah, the roots that already get planted for us are roots of distraction, roots of very shallow natures. They're roots that don't fit with everybody. There's something extra with the way people are picking up stuff, the way people are feeling and communicating and thinking with each other. The old ways, like the way society used to think and act back in the 60s, like the stuff we were asking for back in the 60s, the stuff it's laughable now to see how completely out of balance and the diseased, we called civil perspectives, which are really rooted in straight up division. Like the whole infrastructure is based upon the roots that the infrastructure have linked into are meant to create a space, and it's on a societal scale and an individual scale. So we experience this when we get a moment to experience ourselves. Or so a lot of people have near-death experiences. Some people go into spiritual spaces, or they use ayahuasca, or they go something takes them to a place that helps them realize that they are a part of something bigger than this this illusion that we call, for an extra example, an over example, the American dream. Everybody knows already now collectively that we're bigger than the American dream. But back when the American dream was coming out, people were like, oh man, let's actually move our entire life. Let's move our entire family from our country over to that country so we can do what they are doing over there. We can dream what they are dreaming. We can be how they are dreaming. It's amazing. The American dream is the best thing since best things were invented. It's like it's a perspective. It's a very limited perspective. So anyway, the American dream isn't just the American dream. The American dream is a thought process. The American dream is a relationship to the self, how internally, how you think of yourself, how you experience yourself. If you're an American, or if you're in the United States and consider yourself whatever American, it's a pretty big deal when stuff like the dream. So the dream of that doesn't exist anymore, like in a lot of people's spaces. So even to consider yourself like African American, when there's already so many other perspectives out there now, and realities now that people are seeing as the actual wordings, the actual understandings of the peoples of the planet, and the Americas, and the indigenous peoples of the Americas, and Africa, and Asia, the entire Australia, the indigenous peoples of all over the planet, realizing the stories that have already been here for so long that we have been conditioned out of connecting to. So undoing is really about undoing. The grid wants to keep building stuff. That's one of the main things I wanted to talk about. It's keep building, and building is distraction. Build more buildings, build more structures, create a state of busyness that is 3 years out. Just keep going and keep pushing these bars and pushing these timelines 3 years out. These movies are like this too. When they put trailers out there, you already see the trailers for all the movies of next year. You basically see what they're talking about. What, for an example, for movies, how movies relate to the politics world, or telling a metaphorical story, or whatever it is. These storylines also create speed limits on flicker rates. They create speed limits. So our speed limits are basically back. Remember when it used to be 55? Now it went up to 65. It's like, yeah, 65, woo! And then, okay, so when you get out on the 5 or wherever you're going, it's like 75. You get in Texas, like 80. The speed limit is set. So the speed limit of consciousness gets set. The speed limit of reality gets set. The speed limit of experience gets set with stuff like the American dream. And then when they implode it, they're imploding people's dreams, imploding people's worlds. So when we forget our dreams, and the only dream that we have is the one that we call the American dream when we're awake, that one's imploding. You have to find your own dreams again. Like, what are those dreams? Like, how do we dream again? Like, what is dreaming? And what are we doing there? Where are we? How to reconnect with that? What are the stories? What does this stuff mean? It's crazy. It's funny. It's funny because dreams are fun. A lot of the, like, you just wake up sometimes. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and in this extreme, like, happy joy place from a dream. And like, that's how the day starts. So I remember when I used to work or be in the military, I would have those dreams about being wherever I was working or whatever I was doing. And those aren't really good dreams. You don't want to wake up after wake up from work to go to work. Like, it's it's a big deal, There's time. Time is a big deal. Yeah, all the time. It's these harmonies. Time is a harmony. Time is a beat. There's these beats, these harmonies that exist within our reality. And when you have DJs who are playing music that is meant to distract, control, and keep people in an illusion, the whole dance floor gets thrown off and people start dancing all kinds of ways. But there's people who we keep the rhythm. There's the rhythm keepers that keep flowing. So that's a good place to end it. I would share with people. Keep flowing, keep dancing, and I'll leave you with peace and love. Until next time.